9 a.m. Sea Country. Naruto is preparing to leave his second home. His next destination was the Leaf Village, where his Yumi was. With a new blue long-sleeve shirt with a white horizontal stripe across the chest, blue sweatpants and matching sandals, and the Heaven's Blade strapped to his back, Naruto was ready to go. He left his room in the compound. Naruto stepped outside of the compound to see that Ryuho and Kaori were waiting for him. Ryuho-sensei, Kaori, are you guys planning to see me off? Naruto asked the two. Yes, so, are you heading back to Konoha? Ryuho gave Naruto a questioning look. Yeah, I promised that I would aid Konoha in this war. Plus Yumi and her mother are there, Naruto informed them. When are you coming back this way, Naruto? Kaori asked. Well, I had planned on coming back in 3 days. I want you guys to meet Yumi, Naruto told Kaori. Everyone turned around when they heard a voice screaming his name. Naruto saw the little girl running from the compound in their direction. The girl arrived in front of Naruto. Big brother Naruto, you're leaving already? Stay for another day. Naruto rubbed the little girl's head. Sorry, Yumi, but I have to go back to the Leaf. Don't worry, I'll be back in 3 days, and I plan to spend 2 weeks with everyone. Hayami's face brightened up. Really? Really. Besides, I want you to meet Yumi. I think you're going to like her, Naruto told the girl before him. I'm sure she's nice. I can't wait to meet her. A thought popped into Hayami's head. You're coming back in 3 days, right, big brother Naruto? He gave the girl a suspicious look. I said I was. Why do you ask? She turned to her parents. If Big Brother's going to be back in 3 days, can I go with him? I had so much fun when we went to Wind Country and met Gara, Tamari, and the Clown Man. Ryo gave Naruto a weird look. Clown Man? Naruto laughed at the girl's nickname for Kokoro. He looked at his sensei. She's talking about the Kazekage's brother. Kaori responded to her daughter. No, honey, there are a lot of people who don't like your big brother out there because of what he did to save you. I'm sure that if they could use you to get to your big brother, they would. Kaori watched her daughter get a sad look on her face. Hayami looked at her father, hoping he would be the voice of reason, but he just shook his head. Your mother's right, Hayami. Besides, you have training to do. When I get back, I expect you to show me what you can do. Naruto gave the girl a smile. She looked up and gave him a slight smile and a nod. She gave Naruto a hug. See you in 3 days, big brother. I'll see you then, Hayami. The girl broke the embrace. Ryuho stepped forward. Well, Naruto, I think you should get going if you plan to make it to Konoha by sundown. Naruto, take care of the sword, okay? Hayami? The little girl looked up. Yes, father? Come, we have training to do. The little girl nodded. Her and her father proceeded to walk off, leaving Naruto behind with Kaori. Well, I guess this is goodbye for now. Be careful out there, Naruto. Kaori turned to walk away. Kaori. Ryuho's wife stopped and turned to face him. Yes, Naruto? She asked. Did you mean what you said, about me being your son? Naruto asked in a slightly nervous tone. She gave him a reassuring smile. Yes, every word of it. Ryuho feels the same way too. You and Shinji are like the sons we never had. Naruto now knew for sure where he stood in their hearts. You guys are like the parents I never had. The only reason why it'll take me 3 days is because I recently found out who my father was, and in his letter, I was instructed to go to the Namikaze house. So, you know who your parents are. That's good for you, Naruto. Who are they? She asked, already knowing the answer. The 4th Hokage is my father. Ironic when you think about it, but it makes sense at the same time. My mother was Kushina Uzumaki. That's all I know so far. Well, I'm glad you found out who your parents are, but it doesn't change our feelings towards you. We all see you as family here, so go do what you must do and hurry back. If you don't, Hayami is going to bug me about why you're taking so long to come back, the lady said, causing Naruto to chuckle. Then, I guess it's time to leave. Later, Kaori. Mom. Naruto body flickered out of sight. Kaori looked at the spot where Naruto had stood for a minute. She then smiled and headed back to the compound with a smile on her face. 10 minutes later, Naruto was at the docks. He paid for a ticket and boarded the boat 5 minutes later. The young man walked onto the charter boat. He recognized a few people from Sea Country in the boat. Some were probably going to Tea Country, while others were heading towards Fire Country. Naruto went to the center of the boat put both of his forearms on the rail, and leaned forward, looking at the sea. Standing next to him was a man with his arms folded. The man next to him was dressed in a peasant straw hat, a sky blue robe, a dark blue gi under the robe, and matching color sandals. His blue hair was touching his shoulders. The man spoke. "We have some dangerous times ahead of us, young man, don't you think?" Naruto responded while still focusing on the ocean. "You're right about that. Something big is about to happen." The older man nodded in agreement. He glanced at the weapon on Naruto's back. "That's a nice sword you got there. You must be some swordsman to wield that sword." Naruto pushed off of the rail and looked at the man with the smirk on his face. "I learned from the best. Right, Kaito-sensei?" The older man lifted his head, showing his emerald-color eyes. Kaito smiled at his former apprentice. "It's good to see you again, Fox." With a grin from ear to ear, Naruto responded. "Likewise, Kaito-sensei." Konoha, 9:30. Senjuro arrived at the training ground to find his squad waiting for him. He looked at his squad, who had angry looks on their faces. "Sorry everyone, I had a few errands to run. Okay, let's start the training." He pulled out one bell. "Whoever gets this bell for me will become a genin. The two who don't will go back to the academy." The girl, Akuru, spoke with slight shock in her voice. "What? You can't be serious, sensei." He gave the girl a serious look. "Do I look like I'm joking? This is the weeding out process. Whoever is fit to become a ninja will. Those who are not will go back to the academy and wait for another chance to become genin. It's 9:30. You guys have until noon. The test starts now." Everyone took off to hide. Senjuro was standing around. He already knew each of their locations. He sensed Makinu, the dead last, moving towards the girl named Akuru. Makinu didn't want to fail the test, and he had a plan. When he landed next to Akuru, who was hiding in the bushes, he bent down and spoke to the girl on the ground. "Akuru, let's work together." "Why'd I want to work with you? I'm better off getting the bells by myself," she said to the boy. He decided to put his plan in action. "Let's be serious, we cannot take him separately, but if we go together, we can take him." She thought about it for a second. He was right. They had no chance against their instructor. "Okay, let's say we get the bell. How do we decide who gets it?" "We can do rock, paper, scissors, and the winner gets the bell," he said with excitement. "That's not a bad idea." Dead last. Ronpu walked up to the two. He gave the boy a hateful look. "Who said I was including you?" "Three is better than two, idiot. Besides, Ronpu was the rookie of the year, so he can help in this plan," Akuru explained. Makinu was mad, but he knew she was right. "Okay, let's decide now." Both nodded, and they proceeded with the rock, paper, scissors. Makinu slumped his shoulders. Akuru did so as well. Ronpu was smirking, for he was the winner. He looked at Makinu. "So, what's the plan?" Makinu began to tell him his plan. Senjuro was sitting in the tree above them, hidden by a genjutsu, happy that they figured out the test, even if it's not intentional. It seems that they're on the right track. Let's see what they have planned. Senjuro pulled out Ichi Paradise, while his clone was left standing in the middle of the field. Makinu finished telling his plan. He then went out to where the clone was and started to attack. Akuru, who knew an earth-style jutsu, decided to use it. Senjuro's feet sunk into the ground, caught off guard by this, and Ronpu took advantage, closing his chakra points. Ronpu then grabbed the bell and said with a smirk, "Looks like this test is over, sensei." The Senjuro on the ground looked up at the boy with a smile. "Not quite." He then poofed out of existence. Everyone stared in shock. The bell in Ronpu's hand had turned into a pebble. Akuru, who shook off her shock, yelled at Ronpu. "Ronpu, activate your Bakugan to discover its location." The boy complied, and his eyes widened. Seeing his eyes widen, Makinu asked, "What do you see?" "Shadow clones in various locations. It is impossible to tell which one is the real one." He laughed to himself at the situation before pulling out a kunai. "Oh well, looks like we'll have to take out every one of them." Both of his teammates, feeding off his confidence, nodded. The group jumped off, heading toward one of the clones. Senjuro was glad. So, they're working together. It's sad that they won't get a bell, but at least it will pass. 2 hours and 30 minutes later, the team members of Team 2 were panting. Akuru was sitting on one knee, Ronpu was standing on both legs but breathing hard, and Makinu was laying flat on his back. When the alarm went off, Senjuro appeared in front of them. It seems you guys have failed to get a bell. So, you know what that means. Makinu sat up. It means we're going right back to the academy, right, Sensei? Nonsense. You guys passed, Sensei said, all the while smiling. This caused them to look at him confused. Ronpu spoke. Why? We didn't get a bell, so we failed. Why pass us? Yes, Sensei, why pass us? Akuru added. Sensei started to explain. You guys were placed in groups of 3. Now, why is that so? The truth is, you guys stand no chance against a Jonin level ninja, not by yourselves anyway. However, the 3 of you guys, together, do. Makinu didn't understand what his sensei was getting at. I still don't understand, Sensei. Sensei slapped his head. And to think, you were the reason the team passed. It's about teamwork. Why do you think I had only 1 bell to begin with? Ronpu spoke. I get it now. The true purpose of the test was to get us to work together. The reason you used the bell was to cause a dispute between us. Correct. Makinu unknowingly got you guys to work together as a unit. When you guys worked together, you were able to grab the bell, right? Sensei asked. Akuru whispered. Off of a clone. It doesn't matter if it was off a clone. You guys had great teamwork. Well, that's enough for today. You guys are free to go. Report to the bridge at 7 a.m. sharp for our first mission. Sensei performed a body flicker, leaving the group behind. Everyone looked at each other. Makinu was the first to break the silence. So, what do you guys want to do now? In the village, Tsunade was walking down the street with Yumi. Since her workload was light, she decided to get to know Yumi a little better. So, you and Naruto have been together for a year now. Yes, Lady Hokage, we have. Naruto is really a great guy. I'm glad that he found happiness. I wish it would have been in this village, but I guess it wasn't meant to be. Yumi heard the sadness in the Hokage's voice. Lady Hokage, I know why the village hates Naruto so much, but don't they know that he and the beast are not the same person? Tsunade answered. Some may know that he is Naruto, and others may think that he is the beast reincarnated. However, everyone uses Naruto as a scapegoat, because they were powerless against the Kyuubi. When the beast was sealed inside Naruto, he was doomed to live a hard life. Such is the fate of most Jinchuriki. Yumi looked off into the distance with a sad expression on her face. It must be painful to be hated all of your life for something out of your control. I assume it is, but at least there are people like you who can overlook that type of thing. Without people like you, those who contain demons would become monsters. I'm just thankful that Naruto didn't become one, Tsunade stated to the girl. There was silence for a minute between the two until Tsunade spoke. So, how do you like Konoha? Yumi spoke. It's a nice village when people aren't looking down upon you based on who your fiancé is. This village would be perfect, minus the hate that I received from the people because of what they see Naruto as. Let's go grab a bite to eat. My favorite restaurant is at the end of this road. Sure, Lady Hokage, I am kind of hungry. The 2 ladies continued until they reached the restaurant. Fire Country, southern border. Kakashi and his group arrived an hour earlier than expected. The group set up camp and the patrol duties were given out in that hour span. Hanabi and Konohamaru were assigned in the mornings, Tenten and Shizune in the afternoon, and Kakashi and Asuma during the night. Kakashi stated that the patrol wouldn't begin until tonight. Everyone was sitting around. Kakashi was lying in the tree with his book over his face. Asuma, Tenten, Hanabi, Konohamaru, and Shizune were sitting around the circle talking. Asuma looked at Konohamaru. So, what happened while you guys were out there? We ran into a group of missing ninjas and Sensei took out the leader. From what I heard, he did it with ease, but I wonder why the old lady's so suspicious, Konohamaru thought out loud. Tenten and Shizune both said in unison, Don't call Lady Tsunade that. The 2 women looked at each other. Hanabi spoke. If Lady Hokage is suspicious, then there has to be a reason. If something is up, we will find out. The fact that a missing ninja confronted a group of ninjas from a village not far away was foolish, and a bit out of the norm. Lady Tsunade has a reason for being suspicious. Everyone was looking at Kakashi, who was still in the tree. He then placed the book over his face. Well, I'm going to get some rest since I have the late shift with Kakashi. Asuma got up and went to crash inside one of the tents. Tenten looked at him leave. She turned her eyes back to Shizune. Shizune, what do you think about this situation? I think that we should keep our eyes open. If we don't, we're bound to miss something, and since we're all still at war, we can't afford to miss anything, Tsunade stated. Konohamaru got up. Hanabi wondered where he was going. Where are you off to, Konohamaru? I'm going to collect some firewood for tonight. It doesn't make sense to collect it at nighttime, the boy answered. Hanabi stood up. I'll go with you to make sure that you're not attacked. Tenten looked at the girl with an evil grin. Is that really your reason for going with him? Hanabi snapped at what she was trying to imply. Yes, would there be any other reason? Tenten's eyes moved to the upper right corner. She then looked back at the Hyuga. None that I can think of. You guys should get going now. I expect you to be back here in 20 minutes. If you have not returned by then, we will be looking for you, Tsunade said, earning her a nod from both teens. Tenten tapped Tsunade. She likes him so much that she doesn't even know it. Tsunade put her hands to her heart with a faraway look in her eyes. Young love, it's so sweet. Konohamaru and Hanabi were walking in the forest collecting wood. Konohamaru looked at the girl who was gathering wood next to him. Hanabi, who knew he was looking at her, was getting annoyed, and decided to speak. Do you want something or what? Caught off guard, he stammered out. Oh, it's nothing really. So it's nothing. Don't look at me like that. It makes me feel uncomfortable. Hanabi snapped at the Sarutobi. I'm sorry. Anyway, I think we have enough wood. Let's head back to the campsite. Hanabi followed the boy as he led the way back to the campsite. While walking behind him, she was in the midst of everything. Why does he always look at me like that, and why does it make me feel uncomfortable? It's just Konohamaru. I shouldn't be feeling nervous or uncomfortable by a look he gives. Okay, I'm not nervous or uncomfortable. Nope, not at all. I'm just annoyed with the looks. That's it, just annoyed. But they are different from every other look that I get. Everyone looks at me with envy or hate, but when he looks at me, it's as if he cares about me or something. But why would he? I'm rude to him, and I'm always insulting him. Looking in the back of his head, a small smile graced her face. One thing is for certain, you are weird. The two teens continued their trek to the campsite in complete silence. Cloud Village. Aisu Yakuza. The Raikage was sitting at his desk looking at his strongest jonin, who was placed in charge of the three strongest genins in Cloud. The boy who was standing in the middle of the other two genins, who had black hair and ice blue eyes like himself, stared the Raikage straight in the eye. The Raikage returned the look and spoke. You all will be training for the Chunin exams that will be held in Konoha in 6 months. I expect at least one of you to get to the finals. That will be your mission. Train for 6 months, and at least one of you get to the finals. The boy who favored the Raikage spoke. Why must one of us advance to the finals? Is there a reason for this? Yes, since you're the Genin squad that I am placing my faith in, I will let you in on the fact that we will be attacking the Leaf Village with the aid of the Rock, the Rain, and the Mist Village. Your success guarantees me an invite to the finals. Does that answer your question, Rado? Yes, it does, Father. The son of the Raikage said with a full understanding of his father's intentions. The Raikage spoke again. You guys are dismissed. Koen, I want to speak to you for a moment. The group filed out of the room, leaving the Raikage and Koen alone. Aisu asked, what's the word from our allies? Their soldiers should be arriving today. We will set sail tonight and arrive in Sea Country tonight. The Rain will lend us 100 soldiers, Rock 200, Mist 100, and 50 of our own. Aisu leant back in his chair, tapping his fingers together. The information that Koen had given him was most pleasing. Koen didn't think that they needed that many ninjas. He would have voiced his opinion on it, but he knew the Raikage knew what he was doing, so he didn't question it. Lord Aisu, are you going to fight Ryuho alone, or will you require my aid? Koen asked. Aisu narrowed his eyes at his jonin. Don't you ever insult me like that again. Did you forget your station, or do you think I'm so weak now that you can match my power? Koen didn't want his leader to misinterpret what she was trying to say. I didn't mean anything by it, sir. The reason I ask is because this is a mission, and you said so yourself that we are to exterminate the Minashu clan. I want to know if you wanted to kill him as a way to honor his skill, or just to kill him by any means. You should know better than anyone, and I wouldn't disgrace someone of Ryuho's skill by having him attacked by a bunch of ninjas. No, I will fight that man because I acknowledge his skill. The only thing that I want you to do is eliminate the other clan members any way you can. Ryuho will not suffer the fate of the rest. He will die by my blade, and my blade alone. Is that understood? Aisu said the last part in a tone that would have most ninjas pissing their pants. Koen, however, wasn't most ninjas. He bowed. Crystal clear, sir. If you'll excuse me, I have to supervise the training of my squad. Very well, but before you go, I want to say that I'm counting on you to get them ready for the Chunin exams, Aisu said to his top jonin. Don't worry, sir. I will not fail you. They all will be ready. Koen exited the office, leaving Aisu alone. The Raikage smiled, happy with the fact that his plans were coming to fruition. It was only a matter of time until he gets what he wants. Local restaurant in Konoha. Tsunade and Yumi were eating and discussing Naruto. Yumi, both women looked up when a bowl-cut ninja wearing a green leotard and a jonin vest, accompanied by a pink-haired medic ninja, interrupted their conversation. Lady Hokage, how are you today? She looked at her pink-haired student. I'm good, Sakura. Would you and Lee care to join us? Rock Lee spoke before Sakura could respond. It would be a great pleasure to join our great Hokage and Yumi. Why don't you guys grab a seat? Tsunade suggested to the two leaf ninjas. Sakura sat next to Tsunade and Lee sat next to Yumi. Sakura, who was sitting diagonally across from Yumi, looked at the girl and smiled. Forgive me for being rude. I didn't introduce myself. I am Sakura Haruno. I know who you are, Yumi finished. Oh, and I guess Naruto told you about me, huh? Sakura asked. Yes, he has. So you're a medic ninja. It must be great to save people's lives, and now you are able to help people feel better, Yumi stated to the pink-haired young lady before her. It's great to help people. Thanks to Lady Tsunade's training, I'm able to help those in need, Sakura informed the girl. Yumi, I haven't seen Naruto in a while. Do you know when he'll be back? Lee asked. Yumi shook her head. I have no clue when he is due to return, but he's with the Minashu clan, and from what he tells me about the clan, there's nothing to be worried about. They are like a second family. Tsunade leaned forward. Did he tell you that? The brown-haired, green-eyed girl responded. No, you can tell by the way he talks about them and how he light up every time he talks about his little sister. You mean Hayami, am I right, Yumi? Sakura asked. Yes, Sakura, that's who I mean. Lee held his fist in the air. My youthful friend is spending time with a second family. That is great for him. My friend has never had a family, and to find a surrogate family is wonderful. Yumi smiled at Lee's actions. After being around the guy for a week, his weirdness grew on her. It is wonderful, Lee. I can't wait to meet them. He said he was going to take me to meet them. You and Naruto are pretty serious, I see, Sakura stated. Yes, Naruto and I are planning on getting married soon and starting a family. I'm all for the former, but the latter is something that I wish to wait. We're both too young to be thinking about kids, in my opinion. Anyway, what about you, Sakura? Anybody that you're seeing? You and Lee look pretty close. Lee spoke up before Sakura could. Sakura and I aren't dating Yumi. The one who beat me up for her heart was the Uchiha. Sakura noticed that the boys in her graduating class and a guys team almost always referred to Sasuke too as the Uchiha. Lee, why do you always call Sasuke the Uchiha? Tsunade looked at her student, then back at Rock Lee. She knew the reason why Lee, Shikamaru, Neji, Choji, Shino, and Kiba referred to Sasuke as Uchiha. Each one of those boys was affected by the mission, whether it was a friend getting hurt or one of them getting hurt. Tsunade knew that Sakura didn't understand. To tell the truth, she and everyone who wasn't involved with that mission really didn't know what happened. They knew from stories, but stories and actually being there is completely different. Tsunade saw Lee stand up with a serious face, something that was rare for Rock Lee. Sakura, I understand you have feelings for Uchiha, and I respect that, but what I refer to him as should not concern you. Lee, I just want to know why you and everyone else. Lee cut her off. Forgive me for my rudeness, Sakura, but I have training to do. Also, I value our friendship, and I do not wish to say something that might be offensive to you. You ladies have a good day. Lee bowed and walked off. Sakura looked at Tsunade, confused. Lady Tsunade, what do you think Lee meant by that? Sakura, you might not want to see it, but the mission was to retrieve Sasuke, has left them all bitter against Sasuke. The fact is, they can't understand how someone as loyal as Naruto got banished while Sasuke, a traitor, and make no mistake, Sakura, he is a traitor, is next in line to be Hokage. Sasuke may have redeemed himself, but they all hate the fact that he gets special treatment. I don't expect you to understand, but I would like you to see where they are coming from. Tsunade explained what she thought. Yumi broke the silence. Sasuke, he's the one Naruto fought at the Valley of the End and a while back. Am I right? Sakura nodded. Yes. Yumi looked at the cup in front of her. Naruto once told me that he thought of Sasuke as a brother and as a best friend. He got angry when he discussed Sasuke. The way he described the battle between the two was intense. He told me he had a chance to bring Sasuke back, but that way would have killed Sasuke. Naruto held back his attack, so he tells me. Sakura was feeling even guiltier about blaming Naruto for not bringing Sasuke back. Looking up from the cup, she looked at Sakura. Naruto also told me about you. He told me that he used to like you, but you always rejected him. I don't know what happened between you two, but he got angry when he told me about you. He basically got angry when he talked about Team 7 and Konoha. I really hope he'll be able to try and make peace with the village. I think him coming here is the first step to that. Maybe, but who knows? Tsunade sat with her hand under her chin. Yumi stood up. Tsunade gave her a curious look. Are you leaving, Yumi? I promised Ayame that I would visit her at the ramen stand. Don't worry, Lady Tsunade. I'm sure we will get to do this again. She turned to Sakura. Sakura, I would like to get to know you better, if that's okay. I don't like that, Yumi, Sakura said, smiling at the girl. Well, I'm off. You ladies have a good day. Yumi walked off. Sakura turned to the Hokage. She seems nice. I can tell she cares for Naruto a lot. She really is a nice person. I'm glad that Naruto is with someone like her. Tsunade stood up and motioned for Sakura to follow. Come, Sakura, let's go to the hospital and do a few rounds. Okay, Lady Tsunade. Sakura got up and followed the village's strongest female ninja to the hospital. Tea Country, 4 hours later. The charter boat Naruto was on stopped at a fishing village in Tea Country. During the 4 hours, Naruto and Kaito caught up in each other's lives. The man known as the Golden Fox knew that it was time to part ways with the sensei. The boat was set sail for Fire Country in 10 minutes. Kaito and Naruto were on the docks saying their farewells. I guess this is where we part ways, Kaito-sensei. Where are you going now? I'm off to see our mutual friend. I should have taken the other way to her place, but I had to shake some hunter ninjas without causing a scene. Cutting through this country to get to her place is definitely the long way, but like I said, it couldn't be helped. Anyway, Fox, you take care of yourself. Something tells me that I'll be seeing you soon. For some reason, I believe you are right. Well, I guess I'll see you later, Sensei. Naruto extended his arm with his hand balled up in a fist. Kaito looked at the fist for a second and did the same as Naruto until their fist made contact. Later, Fox. Kaito walked away from his student on his way to see Naya. The captain informed everyone that the boat would be leaving in a minute. Naruto boarded the boat once again. Seeing a lot of people on the deck, Naruto was hoping that his spot wasn't taken. Lucky for him, the spot was still free. Naruto went to the spot and looked at the sea as the boat glided across the water. In a couple of hours, he would be back at his intended destination. Back in the cloud. The ninjas that Aisu had asked for from his allies were in the village. He had them gathered inside of a building in the village. It was an auditorium that was suited to fit a large number such as the one before him. Standing at the podium with Ko on his right and Kaga on his left, he raised his hand to silence the group. You all know why we are here. You are to aid in the destruction of the Minashu clan. I know a lot of you have issues with that clan, based on what transpired a year ago involving the head of the clan's daughter and a couple of your friends, family, and lovers. I know the person you all wish to go after is none other than Naruto Uzumaki. The group of rock and rain ninjas exploded at the mention of Naruto. Aisu raised his hands to silence them. However, he is under the protection of the leaf, so getting to him will be impossible. This is why I offer the next best thing. If you can't kill him, destroy those he sees as family. We set sail later on tonight, and we should arrive in Sea Country in 2 days. I know you all want exact vengeance. I give you the opportunity to do so. I will say this, whoever wishes to leave and want no part of this, then do so. But whoever lost someone to Naruto Uzumaki and wish to exact revenge, then your opportunity lies with me. Who's with me? The crowd let out a roar, showing their allegiance. Aisu smiled. These fools didn't realize they were mere pawns in his plan. He really didn't care for Naruto. Sure, the guy was strong, but he saw him as no threat, which is why he put Koen in charge of the task of taking him on. Ryuho was a different story altogether. His true purpose was to obtain Heaven's Blade. He didn't wish to use it. In fact, he knew it was impossible for him to use it if the story about the blade was true. No, he just wanted to keep it in his possession, away from others. Once Ryuho was out of the picture, then he would use the Chunin exams to take down Sentaro. With those two threats out of the way, he could crush the Leaf and its allies. Koen leaned over to whisper in his ear. It seems like they ate it up. You are cruel, Lord Isu. It has nothing to do with being cruel. I offer them an opportunity, and they are willing to take it. I just so happen to be getting what I want in the process, Isu said while looking at the crowd. The Raikage's eyes went to a ninja who walked down the aisle and up the stage toward him. The ninja whispered into his ear, Sir, we got word that Keihoen Mortetsu and his followers are all dead. Scouts in the area discovered their bodies. Nothing is definite, but one of our medic ninjas said, after taking one look at their body, they were dead for about a week. I want you to meet me in my office in 10 minutes. The ninja nodded and headed off. Isu turned his attention back to the crowd. My guests, we leave at 9 tonight. Please, enjoy all the luxuries that my village has to offer. The restaurants and the bars will be free to all of you. You are all free to go. I hope you enjoy your time here in the cloud. Everyone started to get up and head for the exits. Isu looked at Kimoko, Roba, and Daki. They knew that look meant he wanted to see them in his office. They followed him, Koen, and Kadan as they exited through an entrance on the side of the stage. 10 minutes later, everyone, including the ninja who had informed him of the news, were sitting before him. So you're telling me Keihoen was killed? It must have been a skilled ninja to kill him. Koen was the next to speak. Well, it looks like we won't have backup if a few of the clan members slip our grasp and get into Fire Country. If any of us are caught by Leaf Ninjas, the Hokage will attack, defeating the ultimate goal. It doesn't matter. They were a fail-safe plan. I don't intend on letting anyone escape, Isu stated to everyone in the room. The ninja who informed him of Keihoen's death looked at the Raikage. Sir, from the reports, he was killed with a kunai embedded in the side of his neck. His death tells us that the Leaf has upped its border patrol. Have the scouts return to the village. I don't want my plan ruined before it moves to the last phase, Isu ordered the ninja. He bowed and exited the office. Kimoko spoke. Lord Isu, what do you want us to do? Nothing. I want you 5 to get ready for tonight. Sir, speaking hypothetically, let's say if you escape and head towards Fire Country, what do you want us to do? Eliminate them before they get within range of Fire Country. But that will be hard to do because you'll have to get out of Sea Country, and the only way to do that is by water. Don't worry, nothing will go wrong, Isu said, assuring Kadan. Fire Country, 2 hours later. Naruto was walking down the road towards the southern gate of Konoha. He could see the Hokage monuments from where he was. The blonde ninja walked for a good 10 minutes before reaching the gate. The guard stopped Naruto at the gate. Name and reason for entering. Naruto Uzumaki, and I'm hired help, Naruto said to the guards. The guards knew who he was and his reason for being there, but it was protocol. They let him pass and Naruto continued into the village. He still received glares from the older generation, but it really didn't matter because he was going to see Yumi. He was heading for the hotel when an Anbu squad appeared before him. Naruto Uzumaki, Lady Hokage requests your presence at the tower. I'm only in the village for 5 minutes and she knows I'm here. I'm impressed. Lead the way. Naruto and the Anbu squad disappeared out of sight, only to reappear in the Hokage's office a minute later. Sitting at her desk, Tsunade dismissed the Anbu squad and offered Naruto a seat. He removed the sword from his back so he could sit down. He placed his sword on his lap. Tsunade looked at the sword, then back at Naruto. I see you passed the trials. Congratulations. Thanks. What do you want, Granny? Naruto asked. I know you want to see Yumi. She's interesting and a very nice young lady, by the way. What she sees in an arrogant, overconfident loudmouth like you is beyond me. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you that I want you to meet me at my house at 6 tomorrow morning. I will escort you personally to the Namikaze house. I really wanted to know about your trials, but you seem bored. So, go. I expect you to tell me what happened tomorrow. Tsunade said, motioning with her hands for him to leave. Naruto got and placed his sword on his back. He headed out of the office. Tsunade was grinning. Looks like Jiraiya will be giving me some money. The Hokage then got a serious look on her face. Something isn't right. Every time I win a bet, it means danger is on the horizon, or something bad is going to happen. I wonder what kind of bad thing is going to happen. She put her feet up on the desk and pondered on what was next to come. Yumi and Ayame were talking and laughing at jokes. Ayame was telling Yumi a joke which caused her to burst out in laughter. I swear, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard, Ayame. It was funny when I heard it, so have you got any plans for tomorrow? Yumi was about to say no, but her voice answered for her. Well, I had planned on spending time with her, but if she wants to hang out with you instead, then I guess it's okay. Recognizing that voice, the girl turned around to be greeted by a smiling Naruto. Naruto! She jumped out of her seat and gave him a tight hug. When she finished hugging him, she started to check him over to make sure he was okay. You're not hurt, are you? For the last couple of days, you were in pain, weren't you? What happened that would cause you to feel that much pain? Naruto gave her a weird look. She could feel I was in pain? Naruto placed a hand on her cheek. A lot happened, but it's okay because I'm perfectly fine now. The pain that I went through was because it's sword on my back. It's a special sword that requires harsh trials to get it. I'll tell you more about everything tonight. Tell me what happened while I was away. Yumi didn't want to tell Naruto about what happened, so she lied. Nothing really. Ayame has been keeping me company. Yumi, you and Naruto get out of here. I will talk to you later, Ayame said to the couple. Naruto waved her off. I don't intend on leaving, not when I haven't had some of your ramen, so Ayame, if you will fix my favorite. Naruto took a seat. Yumi sat back in her seat. Ayame came back with a big bowl of ramen and placed in front of Naruto. I don't think this will be enough for you, but it is a start. Naruto began to drool as he looked at the bowl with noodles, chicken, eggs, and beef in it. Idak Tetsumu. Naruto consumed the contents of the bowl like there was no tomorrow. Yumi looked on in disgust while Ayame just laughed. It's sure good to have you back in the village. I haven't seen anyone pick out quite like you. Naruto picked up the bowl and tilted it to his mouth to let the broth spill into his mouth. When he was finished with the broth, he sat the bowl down and let out a big burp. Yumi wanted to lecture him on manners, but decided against it. Instead, she was just happy that he was okay. Across in a local bar, Anko, Yamato, Genma, and Senju were all sitting at a table having drinks. Anko was telling them in detail about her team and her test, which they believed was torture. I feel sorry for your squad, Anko. You're too cruel. A little pain never hurt anybody. Besides, if they can't handle what I throw at them, how can they call themselves shinobi? Anko said to her Senbon chewing friend. So Senju, what type of test did you give your squad? I gave them a bell test with one bell. Not as cruel as Anko's method of evaluation, but effective. So, did they pass your test or what? Anko asked with curiosity. The Hokage's son gave her a smirk that seemed to answer their question. Yes, they did. It seems that the one dubbed the dead last got them to work together as a team, even though they showed that they work well together. The fact is that they need more training. I plan to make them wish they were never ninjas. Genma gave him a sideways look. You're almost as cruel as Anko. Well, it's a good thing that my team failed. Now I don't have to worry about training some snot-nosed brats. I think it's going to be fun to train the future generation, Yamato added. Maybe, but not that much talent in this graduating class. So you guys got your work cut out for you, Genma told Anko, Senju, and Yamato. Anko looked at the golden brown-eyed man known as the Hokage's son, then at the man who was the only one in the village who could use wood jutsus. She turned to Genma with a smirk on her face. I love a good challenge. He sucked his teeth. You are a sadist at heart, aren't you? Anko put the index finger of her left hand on the bottom of her lip and gave Genma an angelic. Who? Little old me? I am the sweetest person in the world. I'm disappointed that you would say such a thing. Genma closed his eyes and revealed a slight smile. You're too much, Anko. You know that? Anko just gave him a wide grin. Genma noticed that Yugao walked into the bar dressed in civilian attire. He waved his hand to get her attention. Yugao, hey, come and join us. The purple-haired girl looked at her friend, signaling for her to come over. When she approached the table, she was greeted by everyone. Genma offered a seat next to him, and she kindly took it. How was your mission, Yugao? Yamato asked politely. Boring and uneventful, Yamato, she informed the former Anbu captain. Please, just call me Yamato, Yugao. I'm no longer a member of Anbu. She understood where he was coming from. She looked at Senju. Senju, how was your day? Good, I presume? Yes, it was pretty good. How was yours? He asked. She let out a sigh. Like I said to Yamato, it was boring and the mission was something that a Chunin could have done. So, what are you guys doing here? Celebrating, Anko answered. Really? Why? Senjuro spoke. Well, Anko, Yamato, and I all have our own Genin squad. Genma over here is celebrating with us because he's glad that his squad didn't pass. She stifled a laugh. Well, again, Genma. You're just being lazy again, Genma, aren't you? He looked away. No comment. Everyone at the table laughed at the Jonin, who wore his forehead protector backwards and covering his whole head. Senjuro looked at the clock on the far wall of the bar and noticed he had planned on meeting his mother soon. Well, it looks like it's time for me to go. I have to go to the Hokage Tower. I'll see you guys later. Yugao stood up at the same time. I guess we can walk together. I have to turn in my mission report. Okay, well everyone else, I'll see you guys later. The two Jonins exited the bar, leaving behind their friends, who continued talking about various things going on. Sanjuro and Yugao continued to walk down the road that led to the Hokage Tower. He looked at the woman. So you're on, Boo. What's it like? She turned her head to face him. The excitement on her face was visible when she started to speak. It's exciting at first, but it gets dull very fast. I like the missions that we Anbu receive. If you don't mind me asking, where were you for the last 18 years? Sanjuro looked off into the distance with a serious expression on his face. I'd rather not talk about it. He turned back to the young woman. The good thing is that I'm back home. He turned and looked at the Hokage monument, and a small smile graced his lips. I miss this place during my time away. There is no place like home, Yugao. I'm really glad I'm back with my family, old friends and new friends. The female blushed at his comment. Senjuro glanced up the street to see Naruto and Yumi walking towards him and Yugao. Senjuro strained to see the handle of the sword that was on Naruto's back. He was happy inside when he recognized the sword. I see, he had done it. Naruto recognized the man, but the last time he saw him, he was wearing a black cloak instead of a Leaf Shinobi uniform. I see a lot has happened while I was gone. So you're reinstated, I see. So, where are you off to, Naruto? He asked. Nowhere, really. You mean are just walking around here, you know? What about you? Are you on a date with her? Naruto pointed at Yugao. The two both looked away, blushing. The Anbu captain spoke up. No, Naruto, we're not on a date. We both have business with the Hokage, so we are merely walking towards the tower together. Naruto looked at the purple-haired female for a long minute. He recognized that voice and that hair color. She was feeling uncomfortable with his gaze. Is there something wrong? Yumi gave him a weird look. She knew something was on his mind. She would find out later. Naruto blinked, coming back to reality. No, there's nothing wrong. So I guess we'll be leaving you guys to what you are doing. Naruto and Yumi walked off, leaving Senjuro behind with Yugao. Both were looking at the two walk off. Yugao wondered why he gave her a long look. She decided not to stress too much over it. She turned to see Senjuro still looking at Naruto. Are you ready to go? Yeah, let's go. The two headed to the Hokage Tower, both thinking about what the blonde boy said. Are you two on a date? Senjuro was replaying what Naruto said. Why would he think we were on a date? People walk together all the time. Yugao's thoughts were similar. Date? He is a nice guy, but can't two people just walk together and enjoy others' company? Wait, did I think enjoy? No, that can't be right. No need to stress over this. He just asked if we were on a date. That's all. Nothing wrong with him asking that, right? The two looked at each other, then immediately looked away. About a half an hour later, Naruto and Yumi were sitting on top of the fourth head, looking at the sun go down. Sitting with her back against his chest, she leaned her head back and rested it on the crook of his neck. Sunsets are always beautiful. This is a nice spot you picked. It's my favorite spot in this village. I used to come here all the time with the third Hokage, Naruto informed the girl in his arms. Well, this definitely is one of the most tranquil places in the village. The trial was painful for you, wasn't it? She asked with concern in her voice. Yes, it was. I had to relive my worst experiences in life, and there was a lot. I also had to fight with my limited movement, and I also had to fight with my sensei with my fox telling me how inferior I am, and that I need his power. Yumi placed her hand on his jaw. Well, I guess that demon doesn't know how strong you are. To tell the truth, I was going to draw on his power, but I wanted to see what I could do. Using the Kyuubi's chakra is one thing, but becoming dependent on it is completely another. The tests dealing with the Kyuubi and the tests that limit my movement were great compared to the one where I experienced the horrible events of my childhood. She looked into his eyes. How'd you get through it? Naruto began to explain. Well, the test was confronting the darkness within me. My darker side was trying to consume me, I guess, but I realized that even though I am hated by many in this village, I have people who love me for that, and it is better than wanting revenge. Don't get me wrong, I hate how I was treated, but if I gave into my darker side, then everyone I care about would suffer. You, Hayami, and everyone that I hold dear got me through that test. If it wasn't for you all, I would have failed. Yumi didn't respond. She continued to look off into the sunset while in Naruto's arms. Naruto leaned in closer to her. Yumi, 3 days from now, we are going to Sea Country. I want you to meet Ryuho-sensei, Kiyori Kasan, and Hayami. I think that's great, Naruto. I can't wait to meet them, especially Hayami. I can't wait to meet that cute little girl. Yumi sounded excited about meeting the Minato clan. He said the same thing. I can't wait to introduce you to Kiyori, Hayami, and Ryuho-sensei. I know they are going to like you, Naruto said to his wife-to-be. I hope so, Naruto. You don't have to hope so. I know so. Naruto and Yumi continued to watch the sunset over the horizon. Feeling happy, she, for the fact that he was back, and no longer in pain at Naruto for the fact that she was in his arms, and she would be meeting his family. As far as he was concerned, life couldn't get better. Cloud, 1.5 hours later. Aisu was standing on the high deck of the ship with Koen, Kumoko to his right, and Kadan, Daki, and Ruba to his left. Standing before him on the huge ship was close to 500 inches. He looked from side to side. Shinobi and Kunoichis, I just want to say that it will be a pleasure to work with you all. I would also like you to meet the second in command, Koen. My third in command are the lovely Kunoichi beside Koen, Kumoko, and the man on my right, Kadan. The two on the side of Kadan will be fourth in command. You will follow their orders unless I specify otherwise. Also, I want you all to discard your forehead protectors. I don't want any of our villages linked to this attack. I will say this to you all. Have fun and leave no survivors. I mean none whatsoever. The Golden Fox will pay for what he has done to you all in blood. The crowd let out a cheer. Kumoko smiled at the crowd. She knew that they were mere pawns, helping towards the grander scheme of things. She looked out at a picture of the clan's head daughter that was received from Rain Intelligence during the time they abducted her. She looked at the little girl and gave an evil grin. To eliminate those many ninjas for you, he must hold you dear to his heart. I will enjoy handling him your head personally. She put the picture back in her pocket. A wicked smile graced her face. She would have her revenge soon. The man who killed her father will feel what she feels. He will feel the pain of losing someone.